Okay, so today we're going to practice with pronouncing some of the sentences that you're going to be using in your presentation. So if you look at column C, these are all the sentences that you're going to be using when you describe what pictures you have on your presentation. So what I did here is I filled in all of these sentences with my information, and I also put a translation in English underneath so then you can see what I'm trying to say here. So essentially, you would just be picking 5 sentences here that you're going to be using when you describe the pictures that are on your page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and pronounce each of these sentences, and you can listen to this video, you can stop and pause it, and you can go back so that you can practice pronouncing them in the way that I pronounce them. Okay, so the first one for my name is Miss Hussey is Me llamo Señorita Hussey. So whatever your name is, you would just insert after here. The next one, when you're talking about where you're from, I wrote, I'm from Connecticut. When you have a word written in English, you can just say it the same way as you would in English, or you can say it with an accent. So I would say, soy de Connecticut. This question right here, we didn't do this one when we did the worksheet, so I'm just going to fill this in with black so we just don't look at it because we're not going to do that one on our presentation. Down here, we're talking about our birthday, and you're going to fill in the number and you're going to fill in the month. So when we say our birthday in English, we would say, my birthday is September 3rd. And when we say it in Spanish, it's a little bit backwards. Mi cumpleaños es el 3 de septiembre. If you don't know how to say the specific number of your birthday, you can look at it down here, and the month you can look at down here too. Most of the months sound pretty similar with the exception of January, and if you make a mistake pronouncing them, that's totally fine. Down here, you're going to talk about how old you are. So when you say in Spanish, you are literally saying, I have 50 years. Down here in English, it says, I am 50 years old. Obviously, I'm not 50 years old, but I'm going to write that I'm 50 years old for this assignment. So you would put, tengo 50 años. For those of you in Spanish 1, you're probably 14, 15, or 16. So you would either put tengo 14 años, tengo 15 años, or tengo 16 años. Some of those words are pretty tricky, so just remember you can always pause this video and go back and listen to it again. For this question, it gives you two answers, yes and no, and you're going to choose which one matches and goes along with you, but then you can also take out the yes and no, because originally you were answering a question, and when we write the sentence for our presentation, we're not answering a question. So I have 2 sisters, so I'm going to put tengo 2 hermanas. If you had 2 brothers, you could put hermanos. And if you just want to talk about siblings, you can put hermanos. So remember that you're going to insert whatever number from here that you have. And if you don't have any siblings, you would say no tengo hermanos. If you need help pronouncing these numbers, I'll just go through numbers 1 through 10 really quickly. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Most of you guys know that already. And even if you haven't taken Spanish before, some of those numbers probably sound familiar. The next question is asking how many people are in your family. I have 5 people in my family. So I would say, hay 5 personas en mi familia. Again, when you're choosing the number here, think about the numbers that we just used up here. This next question is similar to the one about brothers and sisters because, again, it's asking you if you have a pet. Instead of answering yes or no, you're just going to answer the sentence as, I do have a pet or I don't have a pet. I don't have a pet, so I would say, no tengo una mascota. If you have a pet and you want to specify what kind of pet you have, you could say, tengo un perro, tengo un gato, or tengo un pez. Pez is a fish, by the way. The next sentence is asking if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Some people find this sentence to be a little bit too personal, so you don't have to include it if you don't want to. Again, we're going to take out the C and we're going to take out the no. And if you can see what here how there's like the slash mark, that's because if you say girlfriend, you would say una novia. And if you say boyfriend, you would say un novio. So I have a boyfriend and I would say tengo un novio. This question is asking how you are, like how you're feeling. You've probably heard this said before when someone asks you ¿Cómo estás? And I would answer with estoy bien. I am well. You can also answer saying estoy así así or estoy mal. Down here, these questions are a little bit more tricky because there's more options when you're choosing what to write in the blank. So I told you guys for my presentation that I like to run and I like to travel. So to say that in Spanish, I would say me gusta correr y viajar. And you can write something similar to what I wrote, or you could write something different. But don't feel bad about mispronouncing those words. When we talk about music, a lot of types of music are the same in English and Spanish. Again, you can say them with an accent or you can just say it in English. You can also just choose to put a name of an artist that you like here. So because I like hip hop music, I would say me gusta la música hip hop. For your favorite class, I know that you guys are all going to write that your favorite class is Spanish, so you can just copy this sentence. In Spanish, we would say me gusta la clase de español. And for what you want to be when you grow up, this word you can look up online for whatever you want to be. You can also say it in English because that's okay with me. But I want to be a college professor one day. So I'm going to write, Yo quiero ser profesora en la universidad. So on this blank, you would put whatever you want to be. So that's all for this column. So you're going to pick 5 things from this column that you want to talk about during your presentation. And then you would just record those 5 sentences. Make sure you practice pronouncing them. But like I said, if you mispronounce them, it's totally fine and we'll still understand what you're saying.